Year of Gnomes. Hi, I'm Sarah Shira, also known as Imagine Landscapes, and to say that I love gnomes is to understate things a little bit. I design gnome patterns. I can't stop, I won't stop, can't make me. I realized that I have, as of now, 12 published gnome patterns, not including the mittens and the other things, but actual physical 3D gnomes. I have 12 patterns as of December 2021. And 12 patterns, 12 months seems to me to make this like a pretty easy and obvious thing what happens next. It's the Year of Gnomes. To gnome or not to gnome? It's not a question. It's the Year of Gnomes. We're going to be gnoming. Norbert and I say, it's time for the Year of Gnomes. So, Year of Gnomes. What are we doing? Well, we're knitting gnomes in a year. And what you do can be different than what I'm doing. I've set my own personal private goal. I am going to be knitting all of my gnome patterns in the order they were published in a restricted palette. By restricted palette, I mean I've picked 4 colors because all of my gnome patterns so far have only needed 4 colors or fewer. And I'm going to knit them all in that set of yarns in the year. And it's going to be pretty fun. So those are the rules for me. I made them up. But in order to make this kind of a community event, I need to make some rules for you. But I don't like making rules for you. I think that's kind of rude, but I do need to have something to hang this on. So here's the way it's gonna go. It's gonna be really simple because I want this to be about yes. Gnomes are about yes. So what does that mean? If you knit a gnome in a month, you get to enter it in the Year of Gnomes. If you knit a tiny gnome, let's say you knit Niblet, all 12 months, you can enter 12 times. Let's say you knit 12 different gnomes. Hey, that's what I'm doing. You get to enter all 12 gnomes. But you can only ever enter 1 a month. That's it. So everyone's gonna have sort of the same playing field. Even if you knit 12 gnomes in 1 month, doesn't count. You can only enter 1 gnome per month. Every month, I'll be posting a link to a Google form where you're gonna give me your email address because I need to contact you if you win stuff. I can't just, power of my mind. So there'll be the email address so that I can contact you, and you're going to provide a link either to the Instagram post where you posted that finished object, and to get there you just tap or click on the 3 dots on the picture, and then one of the options is copy link. Or you can also use your Ravelry project page link. So I'm going to need a link, I'm going to need your email, and I'm also, I think, going to ask for which gnome you're completing because I kind of want to do some stats and see which gnomes are the most popular. Once a quarter, I'm going to draw for prizes. Now that prize list is constantly shifting and growing. Right now it is small, but as the word gets out about this, obviously I expect it to grow. So if you are a maker and you would like to donate something, or you are just somebody who just really enjoys giving things away, you get to contact me. There's a link to a form down below. But basically, quarterly I'm going to draw prizes. And if you enter all 3 months, you will have 3 chances to win the prizes for that quarter. Like I said, this is really simple. But the gnomes and I agree that if you knit 12 months of gnomes, you're extra special. And so there's going to be an extra special prize category. If you enter 1 gnome every month in 2022, you will be entered to win special prizes. First of all, you're going to get a digital prize. There's just everybody who does that is amazing and is going to get something. But then you will also be entered for the grand prizes, which are going to be pretty amazing. There are also multiple participating dyers. I am pretty excited about this, and it's not a closed list. So if you know somebody who might want to participate, or if you know someone who might want to donate prizes or whatever, the list is still growing. There are also a growing list of yarn shops that are participating. So that list is also going to be going up, and they might be doing really fun events or knit nights or whatever. I don't know. Everybody's kind of doing this on their own terms, and that's one thing I really want to empower. People making choices to make this Year of Gnomes fun and manageable. Excuse me guys, the yarn and I need some room here. These are the colors I'm going to be using. So I'm partnering with Miss Babs to put together this range of sort of grays and this burgundy. And I gotta tell you, it's pretty amazing. This is white peppercorn, and it is a slightly dyed color so that it is not as likely to take up other yarn colors if you need to block your gnome. This is Cobalt, which is a red that they've worked to make less likely to bleed, which is great. Very few of the gnomes need it, and if you are really worried, I'd do a test, and I would also advise you to steam block your gnome rather than soak your gnome, but they're fairly confident that this is one of the less likely reds to bleed. So white peppercorn and Cobalt. Then we have Slate as a light gray, and Moonscape, I believe, let me just double check, yeah, Moonscape as the dark gray. And so I'm gonna be choosing those. Each month, I'm gonna figure out which one I want for which colors involved with that gnome, and it's gonna make me super happy. You might wonder, how do you know how much yarn to use? Well, guess what? I put together a list. Not just a list, a table. So I put together a table with all the patterns listed in the order they were published and listed in terms of like what the hat color yardage is, what the body color yardage is. If they're the same color, I merged it in the table and that sort of thing, just so you can see what you might want to do. Some of them it's a little harder because they got 4 colors, but the white isn't necessarily, or like the color you use. For me, I have made these snow creatures, so to me they're like literally made white because they are snowy. It has to do with my seasonal affective disorder and how I approach winter and getting through winter. What was I saying? Yeah, so I've done my best to make that table useful and clear. One of the things I really want to do is to keep fostering community. The gnome making community is already a remarkably positive and amazing place. The interactions I have with people and the interactions they have with each other in the Ravelry forums and on Instagram, it's incredibly generous and fun. Oh my goodness, the fun we have. So I want to get together with people a little bit more, and I've been trying to figure out how to do that. And so what I've decided to do is to set up a Patreon account. And there is a $1.50 Canadian level and a $2.50 Canadian dollar level, that's per month. And you can drop in and out at any point. You could be in it for 3 months, drop, and then go back in for, September or whatever. But it's just a way for me to get everybody a link to Zoom, because I want to do knit nights. I think this is too fun not to sort of start to meet each other in person. But in person digitally, you know what I mean. So $1.50 Canadian will get you access to the Zoom and also to the vote on when exactly we do those, because some of you are in Europe and some of you are busy and it's just a little tricky. And so what I'm hoping to do is to offer sort of a range of times, probably on weekends. At $2.50, not only do you get the same Zoom and the same voting, but you also are going to get some really cool coloring pages. Yeah, I had Knitty Joe, who is an amazing knitwear designer and also an amazing artist, draw up some coloring pages for you. Pretty cool. And then that $2.50 tier will also have access to I'm going to start doing videos, behind the scenes design diary type things, and quarterly the higher tier will have access to them earlier than anybody else. So you'll have some exclusive couple weeks all to yourselves. And that's all there is to it. It's a chance for us to have fun. You don't need to join the Patreon in order to be in the Year of Gnomes. You don't need to do much of anything to be in the Year of Gnomes, frankly. If you knit one gnome, you're in. I hope this makes sense. If you have questions, please come and talk to us in the Ravelry thread about this, or on Instagram, come and find me. I'm Imagined Landscapes on Instagram, imagined_landscapes on Instagram, and on Ravelry they ran out of letters, so I'm only Imagined Landscape singular. But there are links to everything down below. You can also ask questions here. It's YouTube. There's a comments section. What am I thinking? Yeah, ask questions, have fun, do some planning. We're gonna have a great time.